Good evening, everyone. This is your evening news recap, your nightly news podcast on all the news that I come across throughout the day, giving you my take as somebody who aspires to be a politician in the near future. Hopefully, all you guys are wonderful. Hopefully, all you guys are well. Today is November 28th, and it is also Friday, Black Friday, of course. There was a football game today between the Bears and the Eagles. I believe the Bears won that. I didn't pay that much attention to it. I just had it on in the background, but it was an interesting game to say the least. Outside of that, though, hopefully all you guys are doing well. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. All the support would be greatly appreciated as we are trying to hit 1,000 subscribers on YouTube by this summer. And if you're on Substack, please also consider subscribing as well. It's $8 a month, and all funds go to me. They help me pay for the things that I need to pay for in life, like my groceries, clothing, and all those kinds of things. But if not, you can always subscribe for free. I truly do appreciate all from support on this content. With that being said, let's get into the news from today. Moving on into the Trump administration, where a bulk of our news comes from today, the first topic we have is Trump has ordered a review of green cards from 19 countries. Trump is ordering a review of Somali green cards along with 18 other countries after an Afghan national shot members of the National Guard. Trump said in a statement to the country, "Hundreds of thousands of Somalis are ripping off our country and ripping apart that once great state," referring to the large population of those living in Minnesota. The full list of countries goes as followed: Afghanistan, Myanmar, Chad, Republic of the Congo, Equatorial Guinea, Eritrea, Haiti, Iran, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, Yemen, Burundi, Cuba, Laos, Sierra Leone, Togo, Turkmenistan, and Venezuela. This does not shock me in the slightest. It really doesn't. I mean, this event was always going to be used to target migrants and be used against migrant communities. This entire situation as a whole kind of seems like that is the point of it. I mean, it is really odd and really feels staged. It's been very clear that they're going to be using this for an opportunity as for racism and to attack minority communities, something they will continue to do. They've said that throughout this entire administration that they only want white people in this country. I believe Steve Miller has gone on stage and said it multiple times. I mean, I would not be surprised if this is just the next group in the long line of groups that they are going to continue to target throughout this administration. We've talked about the first they came for poem a lot here on this page, and that's how it goes. First they came for whoever it is. That's really how these things boil down to. In other news, Trump has called a reporter stupid for fact-checking him. Trump has called a journalist stupid for attempting to fact-check him on if Biden vetted Afghan nationals. CBS News' Nancy Cordes said, "Your Department of Justice reported this year that there was a thorough vetting by the Department of Homeland Security and by the FBI of these Afghans who were brought into the United States." She then asked him why he was blaming the Biden administration if it was his administration who had allowed all these people to be vetted in. Trump told her, "Because they let them in. Are you stupid? Are you a stupid person? They came in on a plane along with thousands of other people that shouldn't be here. And you're asking just questions because you're a stupid person." Just want to remind you all that losing your filter is an early sign of dementia. Needless to say with this and calling a reporter Peggy recently, along with so many other things throughout this administration, Trump's filter does not exist these days. It really does not. It is gone. It is gone. The signs are there for dementia for Trump, and they are large. It's just never going to be admitted. But I mean, there are many signs out there, and they are massive signs. And it says a lot about not only the state of the man, but um, the state of this administration as a whole. In other news, Trump posted a late-night Thanksgiving message using a slur against a governor and attacking migrant communities. Trump took to True Social once again, attacking a plethora of people in this Thanksgiving post. In his post, he wrote, "A very happy Thanksgiving salutations to all of our great American citizens and patriots who have been so nice in allowing our country to be divided, disruptive, carved up, murdered, beaten, mugged, and laughed at, along with a certain other foolish countries throughout the world, for being politically correct and just so plain stupid when it comes to immigration. The official United States foreign population stands at 53 million people, census, most of which are on welfare from failed nations or from prisons, mental institutions, gangs, or drug cartels. They and their children are supported through massive payments from patriotic American citizens who, because of their beautiful hearts, do not want to openly complain or cause trouble in any way, shape, or form. They put up They have put up with what has happened with our country, but it is eating them alive to do so. A migrant is earning 30,000 a year with a green card, will get roughly 50,000 in yearly benefits for their family. And the real migrant population is much higher. The refugee burden is the leading cause of social dysfunction in America, something that did not exist after World War II. Failed schools, high crime, urban decay, overcrowded hospitals, housing shortages, large deficits, etc. As an example, hundreds of thousands of refugees from Somalia are completely taking over the once great state of Minnesota. Somalian gangs are roving the streets for prey, as our wonderful people stay locked in their apartments and houses, hoping that they won't be left alone. Then seriously, R slur for people who are not mentally there or mentally okay. Um, Nobody take that horribly bad. I don't know if that's like the correct way to explain that. I'm sorry. The seriously Artsler, governor of Minnesota, Tim Walz, does nothing either through fear, incompetence, or both, while the worst congresswoman in our country, Ian Omar, always wrapped in her swatting hijab, and who probably didn't come into the United States legally, in that you are allowed to marry your brother. No clue what he means by that. Um, in which you are allowed to marry your brother, does nothing but hatefully complain about your country. It's a about our country. It's a constitution about how badly she is treated when her place of origin is decent, backward, in a crime which is um, dedicated, backward, in a crime-ridden nation, which essentially not even a country for lack government, military, police, schools, etc. As always, Trump gets a lot harder to read when he goes off on his rambles towards the end. But what's crazy is this wasn't even the worst post he made that night. We'll talk about the next one, which is even more wild. But it is crazy that he waited till midnight to post this. I mean, people are going to see it anyway, so I don't know why he waited so long. But this man, is not fit to be the president. I mean, he's attacking a representative because of her religion, and he's using slurs against the governor of another state. Like, this man is not doing something the president should be doing. That is something furthest from what the president should be doing. I mean, in his own words, from his own social media platform, this man is demented. He has massive problems and continues to display that day after day. Something needs to be done to remove him from office because it is very clear that he is not fit to be the president of the United States. In other news, Trump pledges to end migration from third world countries and to remove those who aren't compatible with Western societies. In another post on Truth Social, Trump is once again pulling from the no German playbook, as he is now calling to end all migration from third world countries and said he has plans to remove all of those who do not fit into the Western civilization. In his post, he wrote, "Even as we have progressed technologically, the immigration policy has eroded those gains and living conditions for many. I will permanently pause migration from all third world countries to allow the United States system to fully recover, terminate all millions of Biden's illegal admissions, including all of those signed by Sleepy Joe Biden's Autopen, and remove anyone who is a net asset to the United States or is incapable of loving our country, and all federal benefits and subsidies for non-citizens of our country, denaturalize migrants who undermine the domestic tranquility, and deport any foreign national who is a public charge, security risk, or non-compatible with Western civilization. These goals will be pursued with aim of achieving a major reduction in illegal and disruptive populations, including those who have been admitted through unauthorized or illegal Autopen approval processes. Only reverse migration can fully cure this situation. Other than that, happy Thanksgiving to all, except those who hate, steal, murder, and destroy everything that America stands for. You won't be here for long." There's a lot to unpack here with this one specifically. First of all, the president of the United States is calling to remove people from this country who do not relate to Western civilization, essentially calling to remove anyone from the United States who is not a white person. I mean, at face value, that's really what that is, which is deplorable on so many levels and insane on so many levels. I mean, this is a part of the playbook of Nazi Germany. I mean, does blonde hair, blue eyes only ring a bell to you? Because it should, because that's what this really is. I mean, the president should not be going out there on his own social media platform saying he's going to terminate people from this country for being from somewhere else. Like, he is saying that he is going to eliminate people from this country for migrating from another country. That is insane. That on so many levels in itself is insane, and it's not something the president should be saying, and is the furthest thing from presidential at all. It is insane that Trump is able to go on his own social media platform. Mind you, the president has his own social media platform, which is also insane, and go out there and say that he is going to, let's read a quote, that he is going to deport any foreign national who is a public charge security risk or non-compatible with Western civilization. Come on, dude. What are we doing? There is no way in hell that it is okay to say that, for one, but there is no way in hell the president should be saying that. This isn't about, being woke or being the woker or being on the left or being one of these radical left Democrats. That's not what this is about. No, no, no. This is about the president of the United States calling to eliminate groups of people who are living here. The same thing that Nazi Germany did all those years ago in World War II when they called to eliminate so many groups of people who lived in their country at the time. What are we doing? This is not okay. Plain and simple, this is not okay. American citizens are not mad enough, truthfully. And I know I'm saying that while I have like a more nonchalant demeanor, I guess. It's not really in me to go out there and scream at a camera and be like, that's just not me. That's just not going to happen. But the truth of the matter is, Americans are not angry enough with what is going on under this administration. I mean, the sitting president of the United States just called to remove people from this country for essentially not fitting in this Western guideline, which a lot of people will determine as being white. That is not okay in the slightest. And that is something that needs to be discussed. That is something that needs to be brought to discussion. And that is something that needs to be talked about so we can remove this man from office. The president of the United States should not be calling to do this. This is the furthest thing from being presidential. In other news, Pete Hegseth gave the order to launch the strikes in the Caribbean. A new report from the Washington Post has come out that Pete Hegseth had made the call to strike the first people in the Caribbean. Hegseth reportedly ordered them to ensure cargo could not be retrieved, nor could the people, and any requests made to comment on this have been refused entirely. A Pentagon spokesperson said when they were asked to comment on it, the department has no response to this article and declines to comment any further. It is wild that they refuse to comment on this and really says a lot, You'd think that this would be something that you would clear up because the Secretary of Defense calling for things that could be considered an act of war is something that should not be done. And if it is being done, it is something we have a massive problem with. I mean, every day it's some more bullshit from this administration and these people within it. It really needs to end. It's tiring. It is. It is fucking tiring. But I mean, we have a massive problem here, not just in our country, but on the world stage. If someone who is not the leader of our nation is out here striking people in the Caribbean, I mean, Pete Hegseth has already been a problem. He's already, put national security details at risk on multiple occasions. And he's done so many more other things throughout this administration that have been extremely problematic. But if he is doing this as well, we got an issue because the Secretary of Defense should not be calling to murder people of another country, especially when that can be considered a war crime. In other news, Trump has canceled all of Joe Biden's Autopen orders. Trump has taken to Truth Social saying he plans to cancel all of the orders from President Joe Biden signed by an Autopen. In his post, he wrote, even as we have progressed technologically, immigration policy has eroded those gains and living conditions for many Americans. We read this earlier. This is the one we read a little bit earlier when we talked about Trump saying that you wanted to end migration from third world countries. We're just talking about something else here. So if you want to hear the quote again, go back a few seconds. This is not possible. I don't understand how this could be possible either. Like, how do you determine what was an Autopen order and what was a order signed by Joe Biden? That just doesn't seem like something you're going to be able to do. The only thing they would be able to do here is like just say anything Joe Biden has ever signed is not going to be a thing anymore. I don't even think they can do that either. So this is just not going to happen. I mean, the entire Trump administration is a load of bullshit. None of what Trump says makes any sense. And he is very clearly a puppet just doing what he is told. Every day it's something else. And the fact that they are still talking about the Autopen day after day after day after day, it's like, come on, can we get something new? Can we get some new material out here? Because the more Trump talks about it, the more it makes it seem like he is deflecting from the fact that he might be using the Autopen. I mean, let's not forget, just a few weeks ago, it came out that Trump had a bunch of identical signatures all over, websites for the government, which is really interesting. That in itself could be guides that Trump is using the Autopen. But hey, all of those signatures were removed. Um, I mean, it's just a horrible argument. It really is. And to say that it's Joe Biden's using the auto pen, which is allowing all these non-Western people, and all that stuff is insane. Trump is using this situation with these two National Guardsmen to attack minority communities, to be racist, to be a horrific human being, and he is the sitting president of the United States, calling to do things that Adolf Hitler and so many other Nazis called to do in World War II, which is a massive problem and should not be allowed in any way, shape, or form, especially in the United States of America. And something about that needs to be stopped. Something about that needs to be done. Anyways, moving on into our other news segment where we have one topic here tonight. Tim Walz has called for Trump's MRI results. After Trump called Tim Walz a slur and attacked migrant communities in multiple posts on Truth Social last night, Tim Walz called for the MRI results from Trump's doctor's appointments to be released. In a post on Twitter, Tim Walz posted an image of Trump's post with the caption, "Release the MRI results." Let's not forget, Trump doesn't even know why he got an MRI in the first place. I mean, this man is very clearly not all there. And we have known that for a while now. We really have. Nobody of Trump's age or mental state should be the president of all. Uh, I mean, the man claimed that getting an MRI was a normal thing for a physical. That's just not the case. I mean, come on. Nobody can argue that that is a normal thing for a physical. You just don't do that. You don't. And it is very clear that Trump is not fit to be the president and should not be the president. That's really been the consensus of this entire video. And hopefully we can see something done to change that. But I have a feeling it's going to be till midterms. So we'll see. With that being said, though, thank you all for watching today's episode. I hope you all enjoyed. It's definitely been a very interesting day in the news world, that is for sure. If you're new here, though, please consider subscribing. All the support would be greatly appreciated. If you are on YouTube, please consider subscribing. I would really appreciate it, as we are trying to hit 1,000 subscribers on YouTube by this summer. And we're getting super close to 700, which would mean we were only 300 away. So help us get to 700. Help us get to 1,000. All the support would be greatly appreciated. Share it with your friends and your family who you believe may like this content as well. And if you're on Substack, please also consider subscribing. All funds go to me. They help me pay for the things that I need to pay for in college, like my groceries, clothing, all of those kinds of things. It's only $8 a month, and I truly would appreciate all the forms of support. This is a user or a viewer supported. I always say user. I got to get on that. This is a viewer supported show, so I really do appreciate all the support from you guys who continuously watch my content, or pay for a subscription, or donate to my Venmo. All of that is truly appreciated, and it all means the world to me, because it helps me pay for the things that I need to pay for. Things like groceries are so expensive, and we're out here building a political platform to change this country and to make it a country where things are actually affordable, and where Americans can actually afford to buy groceries, buy a house, and do many other things like that. So if you're interested in supporting someone who actually believes in a political platform that helps Americans, drop a subscribe, because that's my plan to do when I make it into office. But with that being said, thank you all so much for watching today's episode, and I will see you all tomorrow.